Last Epoch. This new hot hack and slash game, is it good, is it bad? Keep watching to find out. Right from the very beginning, it is a hack and slash game or a Diablo-like. And if you've played Diablo 4 or any of the other Diablo games, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You pick your choice of hero, you go through the world, you level, you quest, you get items, there's portals, there's crafting, there's forging, and there is a wise old guy who is your friend and teacher. Now this game is from an indie dev and it is not a AAA game like Diablo 4 is. Although everything is done to a very high level, it does not hit the AAA level here. It is not absolutely spectacular, it is not cutting edge, it will not blow your mind visually or with its storytelling, but it is still done really well and to a very high level. This is not a bedroom title, this is made by professional developers just of that indie size, that independent size. So you start the game and then you pick your class. They've got a Sentinel, an Acolyte, a Primalist, a Rogue and a Mage. Now the Sentinel is basically your big dude that wears heavy armor, has a sword and shield and does all the whacking. Your Acolyte is your undead spell casting necromancer type class. Your Primalist is basically a druid. The Rogue is a rogue and the Mage kind of explains itself. Now before we continue, just a message from our sponsor.
Cerveza Cristal. Cerveza Cristal.
Anyway, now once you have picked your class, as you progress, as you level, as you gain experience, you can then specialize. So not only do you get all of your skills and abilities, but you can specialize into 3 different types per class, depending on how you would like to play the game. And there is a good variety of different masteries to choose from here. Me being me, of course, I went Acolyte and then into the Necromancer and Lich tree. It just feels right for me. But you can of course pick the class that you like, pick the mastery that you like, and play the game how you like. You then spawn into the world and going about trying to right some wrongs. There is questing, there is looting, slaying of monsters, crafting, repairing, all of that good stuff is in this game. As mentioned earlier, it's a hack and slash game, it's a Diablo-like game. If you're familiar with that style, if you've played that title, then this is exactly what to expect. But how good is it? How well have they done it? And is it worth your time? I'm just going to come out and say it, I love the amount of variety in this game. And this is mostly the abilities that each class has. There is some really unique stuff in there, some really cool stuff in there, and it's just fun to use, it's interesting to use. I love the skills, I love the abilities, I love the variety here. Because not only is there a huge amount of different abilities to use, but then you can find the ones that you like, then even upgrade the ones that you like, and there are numerous options available. And if you don't care, you can just click anything and still go about playing the game. Now, as this is a high quality game and not a AAA game, its graphics are just not as good as something like Diablo 4. It just doesn't have that level of detail, that level of fidelity that only a AAA studio can produce. However, the graphics, the music, the sound, the storytelling, the dialogue, it is all so good. Now, especially the graphics, I love this art style where it's not completely modern and realistic and it's somewhat slightly cartoonish. And it's in that perfect sweet spot of great independent game development. You will play this game and the graphics will not blow your mind, but they are really good to look at. Everything is colored well, there's enough detail, and of course it runs great, it runs smooth, so you're not going to have performance issues if your PC isn't as good as maybe it could be. The music is also especially well done. I love that medieval fair type vibe that it's got going on. It's really relaxing, it's really soothing, but in an independent game developer level. It doesn't have AAA music, but it's got high quality independent music, and it's just very medieval, but in a good, fun, festive way. The story and the dialogue is also really good here. They've shortened it down, they've congested it, and it's really fast and doesn't bog you down. Whereas in a game like Baldur's Gate 3, you know, there is a ton of dialogue, there is lengthy story, and if you don't care, it will dramatically affect the gameplay. Whereas here, the story is good, it's quick, and it's short, and it allows you to focus more on playing the game, doing the things you enjoy, the action, and not just being forced to do witty choices and rolling dices. And just another quick word from our sponsor.
Cerveza Cristal. Cerveza Cristal.
So that's what's good. It runs good, the story's good, it's fun to play, the skills are good, the classes are good, the ability's good, it's all very fun, very interesting, good variety, and it's just oddly relaxing to play. I can't explain it, something about the vibe, with the graphics and the music. I find this game super relaxing, super chill to just unwind and play. Now, there are a few negatives with this one, but they're not essentially deal breakers. Now, my biggest issue with this game is its ability and skill upgrade trees and all of the crafting and the forging and the use of ruins and that sort of thing, and I'll explain why. And the best way is to compare it to Diablo 4. So Diablo 4's crafting, reforging, that sort of system, ruins, all of that, upgrading abilities, that was all super streamlined. It was too streamlined, it was too simple, it allowed you to do a few different things, but most players wanted a little bit more. Now with Last Epoch, they have gone in the complete opposite direction, and you get way too many choices here in all of the skill trees, using ruins, forging, crafting, all of that. It is just incredibly complicated. Like for example, take any ability, when you go to upgrade it, you are given like 30 different options to upgrade each ability, and most of the different options aren't exactly all that interesting. Things like plus 3% critical chance, plus 2% HP here, plus 3% dodge there, and they're just incredibly boring upgrades, and it's just like, who cares? Why are they there? They're not fun and interesting. Although there are other upgrades there that do actually do really cool, interesting, and buff the skill nicely, majority of them are all just filler upgrades, and it's just annoying and time consuming to look at. Those who remember the skill trees from early Cyberpunk 2077 know exactly what I'm talking about. And this sort of unnecessary complication extends all the way when it comes to placing ruins, forging items, crafting. It is just overly complicated, and it just doesn't need to be. It can be streamed down just that little bit, and hopefully they do that in the future, because you just get way too many options and people just don't care. I love to have those different choices in there, but there's just way too many. There's just way too many pointless ones, and it's just like, why even have that in there? Diablo 4 had too few, and Last Epoch has too many, and that is my only major complaint with this game. Apart from that, this game is fun, it is fast, and it is affordable. Right, so should you get this game? I'm going to say, if you're looking at this thing and your gaming roster is pretty empty, you don't have much to play, you need something fresh, you need something new, 100% jump on this one and buy it. It's only $35 and it is 100% value for money here. But if you've already got a few different games going on at the moment and you're not too interested and you think it looks okay, if you've got other things to play, then wait for a sale. But it is still absolutely worth full price, $35, great price, great game. You will have a lot of fun. If you like these hack and slash type games like Diablo 4, you like those games, you will like this one 100%.